Okay, so now the next section that I want to do is a bit more complicated. This is that section over here where we have, whoops, sorry, here on this one, where we have rollovers here and we have actually links. So for the rollover section, I'm going to do that again, but it's pretty similar to what we've done for the social icons one. It's just the opposite in the colors. But what about the links? That will be a lot more complicated, and we will need to put some coding, some JavaScript or jQuery coding that I'm going to show you how to do. So let's jump on it. First thing, I'm going to do the same thing as the previous video if you've not watched it. And it is simply, and so let's try to find that. So list box is the one that I want. So again, it's inside a sub row, so I'm going to add simply an ID to the row itself, the sub row itself. So let's call that solutions because it's in the solutions section. Fresh ID in solutions here, so sorry. Here we go. Solutions. Whoops, I have the bad habit of hitting the enter key, and never do that because if you do that, you're going to be taken to the CSS panel and it will not take what you've done. It will not save it. So solutions and click the save button. Not the same thing at all. So save my page. And then I'm going to go to microthemer, refresh my page again to apply that ID that I just added. And again, I'm going to create a new CSS to this one by using a double click on that green circle here. Of course, everything will target this one. I'm going to stick to the CBB icon style circle. So here, this one will be the good one. But just like previously, I'm going to add my ID to it, which is the number sign and solutions. Oops. Space. Then let's call that solutions icons roll over, let's say. So that's what I forgot the last time. Also, I'm going to do it right away. I need to add the colon over so that it only affects those elements when I mouse over it. So I'm going to click create selector. And I don't know exactly which level of green that I have, so I'm going to use my F12 key in Chrome, or Firefox or Firebug works as well. Even Internet Explorer now has a developer tool. So I'm going to click on that element, and maybe you don't know, but there's a little tool in Chrome as well, because what I want here is that rollover icon. But of course, as soon as I leave the icon with my mouse, I will lose that rollover color, so I cannot really see it. So I can pin a state here. If I click on that, you can pin. So of course you need to have the right element selected. In this case, the A link, which is the link, the A tag, sorry, which is the link. And I'm gonna check that overstate. And as you can see now, I have the overstate available here. So we have the background color of gray, sorry, and the color of the icon is the same that we already have stuck in our secondary color, which is 333333, a dark gray. So I'm going to select that and copy that. Come to my microthemer, and in the background color section, I'm going to simply, or as you can see, this is the current green one, and I'm going to replace that with Control V, the color that I just copied. And right away you can see that it works. And for the font color, I'm going to use my dark gray one, which is 333333. As you can see, microthemer refreshes, and here we go. Exactly as expected. It doesn't change those ones. So probably remove some code previously, but anyway. So now what I need to do, I need to simply add a link to those elements as well. So first of all, the place where we can put some scripting is directly in the ProStyler Evo general settings. And in there near the bottom we can add some CSS code, or we can add Google Analytics, or like it says, any JavaScript code. Now ProStyler also loads an external library called jQuery, which is some shortcodes for JavaScript. So I'm going to use this one as instead of pure JavaScript. When we want to add some script here, we almost need to put the script tag. It doesn't do that for us. Script. So opening and closing script tag. Closing is simply the same thing but with a slash inside of it. And inside of it now I'm going to add my jQuery code. So first of all, I need to add jQuery, which is a keyword to target jQuery. You don't always have to do that, but often in WordPress themes are built that way, so to make sure that it doesn't conflict with any other library. So you often need to use the long word jQuery instead of the $sign, if you've seen that previously. Then I just put a parenthesis, and I need to put the code to target the right element. So in this particular case, I want to target the same type of thing that I already done with MicroTeamer. I could even use the same code. So let me go back to my solutions here. So I can even use that, not the overstate, but just the circle itself. Copy that and use that here between quotes. Sorry, always use to my French keyboard. So number sign solutions, then the div. So jQuery works, the selector works like in CSS, by the way, so that's why it's a lot easier to learn than pure JavaScript. So right now I'm targeting any of the icons that we have inside of those 6 icons inside of the solution section. Now what I can do, I already have, no. What we have is just a div from memory. Check. So yeah. So if I select that, we have a div inside the CBB list icon inside the LI. So what I want to target is, I don't want to target that div because that's the inner div, as you can see when I click on it. So the icon is alright. That was alright for the icon itself. It could be alright as well for this one, but I think that I'm going to go with this one directly, CBB list icon, instead of the circle one. That's just a matter of choice here, by the way. One or the other would still be good. So I'm going to use that class here, and when we're using a class, instead of putting a number sign, we need to put a dot. So what I wanted to show you, in fact, is that we do have a div, but we don't have any link. So I need to add the link itself. And the link, by the way that it works is just that you put the A tag, then href, and href will contain the link itself here, then the text to show, or in our case it's going to be simply the content, which can be an image, can be a div, and anything else, and then we close our A tag. So that's exactly what we need to do. So we already have the content, which is the div with the icon and so on. We need to wrap that content inside of an A tag. And in jQuery, if you go to the jQuery website, there's the API documentation, and you have all the functions that you can add to that. So I'm going to go directly, I'm going to do a search, Control F for wrap, and you will see here the wrap method that is right there. And what does it do? It wraps an HTML structure around each element in the set of match elements. So in other words, I need to use that function here called the wrap, and inside of that I will simply say I want to wrap this with this. So this is exactly what I'm going to do now. So I selected what I wanted to wrap. Now I'm going to add my dot and wrap function and end with a semicolon, and inside those parentheses I need to put the code that I needed to add. So between quotes again, and I'm going to add simply, and I want to have I'm going to put single quotes here. I couldn't use single or double quotes, so I'm going to put single quotes because I want to be able to use double quotes inside. Well, I can do the opposite. Okay, that would do the same thing. So href equals, and then I'm going to put the number sign just as we have in the final example. And then I'm going to simply close that. And in the wrap, I don't need to put, by the way, the closing a tag. That's going to do that automatically. So let's save the changes. Come here, refresh my page to see whether we have an a tag that surrounds all of that. And here we go. We now have an a tag with an href of number sign inside of it. So I mentioned that we would put the link around those elements here, and I copied that, but I forgot to put it. So I just noticed that if we go back here, I'm still targeting the inner circle. So maybe I can change that. I think I still have it on my pasteboard. Here we go. So that would surround the div link, and it would do the same thing here, by the way. Now, as you can see, I have my end icon, and you can see at the bottom of my screen here that it will point me to the dash sign, just like the final one. But that means simply the ID nothing, which will simply target me back to the top of the page. Now that will work to do exactly as the other template, but of course in a real life situation you want to replace those with links. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Well, I'm going to use the same IPI here, the same documentation, but I need to target specific link because of course all of those 6 elements will have a different link. So I will need to target this one and put a specific link, then this one with another link, and so on. And to do that, I'm going to use the EQ, which stands for equal function. So let me show you that. Get that. So EQ here. There's more than one way to do so, but it will select the element at index n within the match set. And that start at 0, by the way. So the first element is 0, the second element is 1, the third is 2, and so on. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. There's a similar function called nth child, but I'm going to use the equal in this case. So I select everything here, but then I need to add the equal function, which is, by the way, how it's written, colon, and then we put that directly in the selector. So all of that, but EQ for equal, and then I'm going to use 0 for the first one. And I'm going to save that for now, just to show you what it does. So I'm going to refresh. And now you'll be able to see that this one has a link, but these ones don't. Okay, they don't have the end icon and the link at the bottom of the page. So that means that it really just targets the first one. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that for the actual link that I want to point to. So can be any link. For example, if I wanted to link to another page, I could specify all of the roots here, all of the URL, or I could specify just the name of the page. For example, about, oof, sorry, don't know how to type. About us here would work. And now I would need to copy that and paste it for each and every link. Of course, we have 6 links. So, and replace that for 0 to 1 to up to 5. So 2, 3, 4. Of course, depending on how many links that you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, I'm going to replace that for different links. So if I want to have an absolute link, like for example, http columns / and let's say www.ProStylerTheme.com, and so on and so on. So I'm going to simply put dummy links here just to show you, just to be quick. But of course you would replace all of them with actual links. So 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I save my changes and then refresh my page. And now you will see that the first one will link to the About Us page. If I click on that, it points me to the About Us page. Here we go. Back. The second one will point me directly to the ProStyler team page. And I can use a target blank, by the way, if I wanted to. And all the others you will see number item 3, item 4, item 5, and item 6. So this is how you can add links to something that doesn't have any link. I've used the example here with the icon list, but you could do that same similar type of code here, of JavaScript code, to almost any element that you have in ProStyler or any other theme. So hope this helps, and of course you can always put comments in Facebook. I really encourage you also to take a look at MicroThemer. So you can go to my microthemer.nullmedia.ca/microthemer-presentation to know more about MicroThemer and download it, maybe buy it. I really encourage you to encourage a developer. And if you buy it through that link, you will also have access to my now more than 30 video library of training about MicroThemer and PST and other elements surrounding it. And you can also have support for any questions and so on. So I encourage you to go there and also to subscribe to my YouTube channel that you have. So you can go directly to my YouTube channel, Nail Media, where you will see all the videos in that training series about the skeleton, and of course other videos as well. So thank you.